Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sort of. Just gonna.
Well, how are you guys all doing?
Brilliant.
Tired.
Yeah. We're all tired.
Well,
I mean,
my name is Jeff Rona. I'm a composer on DevilNeverCry 5, and I did Crimson Cloud, the music for V. So
Yes!
yeah, you.
Those tattoos aren't real, you have to leave.
Bye.
There's a balcony right there.
Jesus Christ.
That's fine, you want to sit down. Thanks.
But yeah, so I'm Cody. I wrote the theme for Dante. I'm a composer. I wrote Dante's theme, Subhuman.
Yay! Woo!
I mean, I apologise for them. They bit shy. I mean, you know, I've been chatting with pretty much all of you for a bit now, so I'm slightly more used to. But they probably like literally don't know what's happening.
Did you say that Casey Edwards?
Yes, they literally messaged me like an hour ago saying there's just their schedule is too tight and they will try to jump in if they can, but they might not make it today. Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, like you said, you've never been all three of you together as composers.
Yeah, and he's the good-looking one in the crowd, isn't he?
Okay, so Gabe, wanna?
I guess.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing all together.
Gabe, do the thing. I'll sort out Danielle so she can join with us.
Alright, cool. What do you want me to do?
I'm just going to sort out Danielle Bojo. She was a character in DevilNeverCry 4. She worked with Ruben on DMC 4 together. So gonna get her because we had some bit of misunderstanding with Skype names. So she'll be joining us literally in a minute. So I'll leave you with them, and I'll sort it out. Be back in a second.
Is that a good idea?
Yes, it is a good idea.
Well, very cool.
So I'll
What you guys been up to?
I'll say hi. I'm Ash. I run the majority of the DevilNeverCry UK cosplay group. So I'm the one that's.
How big is that group?
Well, it was our first anniversary today. So years since we started, and I believe we're now at 155 members. So there's quite a few of us now, so the group just keeps on growing every con we have, and just the amount of love and dedication with everyone that joins, like even these guys here, like,
Whoa.
yeah, these guys make it worth it. So, like, thank you so much for joining us, like, seriously, like, because it wouldn't happen, like, none of this would have happened without, obviously, you guys working on the games, so, yeah. Oh, Danielle joined.
Yes.
Yes!
I'll just add her to the conversation.
Yay.
Pass around.
Yes.
We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Okay.
What did he offer you to do this, by the way?
Fame and fortune and.
I mean, it's not swindled. I mean, it's not me. Well, I have to. Well, say a big thank you to Ruben, who donated all the poster for us. We still have them. We will give them away. I just left them at the hotel because we literally, the place we are at now.
It was so last minute.
It was so last minute because basically the thing was we had a place scheduled for the meet. We had a screen. We had everything pretty much sorted out. Half the bar was for us, but then the bar decided to cancel on us. Well, cancel.
Close down.
They just closed down without telling us anything. We just, well, pretty much found out on our own. So it was, yes, they are.
How
So
could
yeah,
you do that to us?
gonna add Danielle.
Well, I'm glad you got the posters and hopefully they all work out.
Yes, I mean, I never expected to get so many. Actually, Danielle's sending some. Unfortunately they didn't make it here. But we'll give them away as soon as we got everything. We're gonna send them out to people. And like I said, big thank you for doing it for us.
You know, Cody and I don't have DevilNeverCry posters. Cody, do you see a poster? I don't. Nope, no posters. Yeah. Is it too late to enter?
Well, I'll send you guys some posters. But no, it was.
Please don't.
Christoph actually. I was actually in England a few weeks ago, and happened to have all these posters on me because the conference I was doing in Ireland got canceled at the last minute. So I had a suitcase full of posters, and Christoph was like, "Can you send some?" And so I'm actually in England, so I might as well just give him a few. So it all worked out,
And I think we have Danielle with us.
She's not on it yet.
Cool.
No, not yet.
And Christoph, how do you plan to? Are you doing a contest, or because I don't think I have enough posters for everybody there in the crowd?
Yeah, of course. Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
And we have composers on the left side, and we have DMC voices and mocap on the right side. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Danielle, for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey Ruben. I haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a minute.
So yeah, when it comes to posters, I'll just finish it. Basically, we decided to do a raffle because obviously not everybody from our community is doing cosplays, and we wanted
not here in London. To be fair.
and that's the thing. There's like 150 people of us around England. So we decided to do a raffle, and we're just gonna send them away in post to whoever wins them. Unfortunately, Danielle, your posters didn't arrive on time for us. They should no. Like literally, I was waiting there till like last minute on Friday, because in theory they should be there on Friday. That was the last minute for the posters, but somehow they've lost them for like 3 days.
Oh gosh, our post office is the worst.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Royal Mail. Honestly, we call it snail mail because it's literally like takes ages. Even though you post something priority, it still takes ages.
Sorry, 'cause they were
Oh, it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. It's not you. It's the post.
They'll eventually come, I guess. I hope.
Yeah. I'll probably get them on Monday anyway, or I'll get back to work because obviously they are arriving at the place I work. Because I thought, oh yeah, I'm staying at work till 1 on Friday, so maybe there's a chance they're gonna get there. But well, we'll send them away to people anyway.
Okay.
We got some personalized ones. That's Ash that I told you about.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Thanks, guys, for everything you do.
There's
Thank
Kaya
you.
there.
Thank you, seriously.
Unfortunately, not all the girls that I've told you about could make it here today, but I'll make sure everybody gets what they deserve.
Okay.
That sounds like a threat. Not in my house.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a drink because I've been literally on.
So Christoph, how's this gonna work? Do you have like a Q&A set up, or are we gonna? Go in a
I
specific order?
thought. Well, we can do a bit of Q&A. Obviously, we're not gonna chat about like sensitive stuff. Like I've spoke with Cody before. We won't go like in depth, but I thought just do it like casual chat together, and then maybe some questions here and there. Just so it's not like we're just shooting questions at you and you have to answer them. We don't want it to be like interrogation or anything like that. Just having a casual chat. So yeah, I'll leave you again
That's
with.
really good, 'cause I don't have any answers, so.
Well, we got you. That's enough for us. Honestly, that's enough for us. That you made it. That you took time off your schedule, because I know you're currently working on the. What you working on? I've just left my mind.
Working on a thing.
Yeah, you're working on the
thing.
thing with zombies.
Army of the Dead. Yeah, I wrapped
Yes.
that now, so I'm back home. I was in New Mexico for a while.
All
but
right,
back
awesome.
home, back in LA.
Okay, brilliant. Ruben's working on a show as well. You've told me that you're working on something.
Yeah, I just finished my show as well. Ready for.
Any chance your wife could join us as well, or is she not there?
Cheeky.
Oh,
Cheeky.
She's busy with some other stuff this morning.
all right,
so.
yeah. I mean, yeah, she's a busy one. I mean, I've seen all her stuff that she does, and
We love and appreciate her.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll leave you with those guys because I'm just talking, and I literally need like
to order
drink
pizzas
right
as
now,
well.
and then we have to order pizza. So yeah, I'll grab something to drink. I'll leave you with those guys because it's only me talking for some reason. Again, thank you for joining us. I'll leave you for a sec, and I'll be back.
Oh.
Do you want some glasses then?
Yes, please. I'll show you where they are.
Just down
So,
there in the cupboard.
does anyone have any questions?
Jack will show you where.
I think I'll start with questions.
This is going to be over the minute the pizza shows up, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
We can put some through the camera for you if you want. Don't know if you're about to taste it, but
So, does anyone want any questions at the minute?
I mean, I'm gonna say I haven't played DMC virtually. I just got hijacked by these guys, so nice to meet you guys. I'll eventually play your games one day. So I look forward to that. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get drunk. Bye, guys.
So I just say, so it's kind of hard to hear you guys. So whoever's going to ask the question, just come close to the screen and ask it.
Okay.
Because we kind of hear, but some of us, even if I put the earphones in, even with the earphones, it's the voices are getting muffled a little bit.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So does anyone have a
Probably
question?
questions I've answered before, but how do they get into the
So
series?
one question is, how did you guys get into the series?
I'll start.
Who wants to start?
So I started my career as a dancer, and then that sort of led me to becoming a stunt woman. And I think the combination of those two skills were kind of great for motion capture. And it was through my stunt work that I met Ruben. And Ruben was actually the one that brought me in. So thank you, Ruben, because it's been a really, really fun ride, and it keeps going. I mean, when did we film this? It was a long time ago, and
Like
here
10
we're
years
still
plus,
yeah. It's amazing. So that was my story.
Did Ruben bring you in on the first DevilNeverCry?
I only did 4. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, right, I did my math wrong in my head.
Oh!
I did 4, and then there's been just years of fun with Trish ever since, because like she just kind of pops up here and there. But yeah, that was my intro.
Very bummer.
So it's all Ruben's fault then. It's all Ruben's fault.
It's all my fault.
Ruben's fault.
With that, I guess I'll jump in. So over 10 years ago, when was it? Maybe 15 years ago now, 2003 is when I was pitching, my partner, Takuya, and I were pitching to Capcom and other game companies to hire native English-speaking actors out of LA, cast them, and then do the motion capture for video games. Because at the time, up until that time, in Japan, a lot of games like DevilNeverCry or Metal Gear were ultimately only being released in English, or their final product would be in English, but they were being produced out of Japan, so they were using Japanese motion capture actors and then dubbing over them in English. And I had seen that work, and I had worked on the Resident Evil Code Veronica.
All right.
I didn't know that.
That was my first sort of major role in a mocap thing, and I sort of saw the issues that Capcom was having, and these games being produced out of Japan were having with doing the motion capture and the voice separately, and so we pitched, and Capcom gave us a test run on Resident Evil Outbreak. They had already finished the bulk of the captures, but they had reshoots. and asked us if we could handle the casting and getting people over to Japan to do that, and we did. And Danielle, you know Aaron Toney, right? The stuntman Aaron Toney, who's now like one of the top stuntmen in Hollywood. That was actually we got him to Japan, and he did a small role in Outbreak. And who else did we get? We had some other people, but they liked what they saw. The result, as we had sort of predicted, was good because now things matched better with the physical motions and the voices, even though they still had different voice actors do the voices for that game, doing the dubbing over English mannerisms as opposed to Japanese mannerisms. It just fit better, right? So the experience, the visual experience of the player could get more into the characters a little better. And so after that test, Capcom asked, they came to my partner and I, and they're like, hey, they just produced Devil May Cry 2 and sort of rush released it. And they said, we're doing sort of a reboot on the Devil May Cry thing, and we love what you guys are doing and bringing to the table as far as casting. Do you think you could help us do what you guys do for Devil May Cry 3?
No,
and oh, by the way, Ruben, you kind of look like Dante. Why don't you audition for the role? And I said, yeah, sure. I loved. I was already playing Devil May Cry 1 as a fan. Liked the genre. And then auditioned a few times. And then at that time, I held auditions in LA and brought in a lot of the Power Ranger guys because that's.
Yeah, I was actually wondering how it came up that because I know you've worked on Power Rangers, and obviously Dan worked on it as well. So I was wondering.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny
Dan
was Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but Dan was the
Quantum Ranger from Time Force. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was wondering how it happened that so many guys that worked on Power Rangers actually got into.
Well, it started. So when we were doing these castings and bringing people over to Japan, so our company was very young. We didn't have much. We didn't have much experience, I should say, or it was sort of a new company, and we didn't have room to make mistakes. Because when you're a young company in Japan, especially, reputation is everything. So we were building this reputation through each project getting bigger and bigger. And part of what our concern was is we couldn't just hire any actor from the States and bring them over. Because what if they went and did something bad in Japan, right? Because we were sponsoring their visas, our name is on the line. And in Japan, the way they look at things is a little bit different than the States. So if on a production an actor sort of loses it, the agency is somewhat like if they had an agent or a management company, the management company is somewhat responsible, but most of the time the responsibility goes to the actor. In Japan, the agency or the agent that brings over whoever is held responsible. So if the actor really did something horrible, worst case scenario, got drunk and killed somebody, right? The agents, me, and my partner would be held responsible. So we were very selective in the people that we brought into the audition. We wanted to bring people who we could trust, who were honest, and would, would not just go to Japan and go crazy, right? So, we had a limited audition as far as who we brought in, and also the skill set required for this particular job. They had to act. They had to do a lot of physical movements, which a lot of actors are now starting to do a little bit more. But back then, most of your TV and film actors, they just did TV and film. And then the stunt, us stunt people did stunts, but we also, a lot of the stunt people, like Danielle, actually did a lot of acting. Some of the stunt people. So I was looking for a very specific skill set, as well as a specific attitude or work ethic. And so having worked with guys like Dan and Johnny, and Jason Font, also from Power Rangers, auditioned. Several Power Ranger voice. I had come in
We
and
saw what
auditioned
you
for the
did,
roles.
Jeff.
Because one, I knew the physical ability. They could handle whatever Yuji, the director, wanted to throw at them. Two, they can act. Three, they're just really nice people and easy to get along with, and we would all have a great time in Japan. So that was sort of how it started. And then, yeah, I called Danielle, Johnny, Dan, and others who came in to audition and then actually got the roles. So sorry for the long story.
Yeah, I saw Jeff just sitting there like, oh. Okay, Jeff, Cody,
Can I
let's.
just quickly ask
Yes.
questions? Is anyone
I
gluten
just
free?
did a screenshot. That's all.
Yeah, I know, I saw it.
No,
We
gluten-free.
saw what's happened.
No, that's fine.
But
So, we have Casey with us, but I don't think he joined in on video call. But he's there. Yes, he's there.
We miss Ruben.
What's up?
Hello.
Oh my god!
I mean, so yeah.
We found a
Well,
little
Jeff,
treat.
Jeff, like you said, we have a kind of historical moment where all three of you are together. Because, like you said, you've never been all three of you together here.
We've all been in the same room, I think, twice. But
Yeah, I actually have a photograph of Casey, Cody, and I.
Oh, I mean, like you know, in interview or something like that. Oh yeah, we can see Ruben somewhere out there.
Casey won't allow it. His
Yeah, I mean, literally, Casey was. I think Casey was the hardest one to convince to join us. Because I mean, the minute you said that Cody should join us, he pretty much agreed straight away. But Cody was slightly harder. Not Cody. Oh God, I'm getting confused. Sorry.
Turn that off.
Yeah, Casey was.
perfectly between opening up Q-based projects. I got a little slammed last minute before leaving town next Tuesday, so I'm having to shove in a bunch of last minute stuff before I leave. Jeff runs a production company for licensing called Liquid Cinema, and through Liquid Cinema, a job came up to do kind of remixes and kind of electronic dance remixes and of classic Capcom themes for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And I was on the team of composers who did the arrangements and remixes and some original music for that game. And then once we finished that game, a couple months later, they contacted us and they said, "Hey, we love what you did on that game. We have another game that is one track's industrial and one track is metal. And we liked what you did for Dante's theme for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that I did the remix for. It's do you guys want to take a stab at doing this?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I instantly, as soon as they were like, "Oh, it's a metal game for Capcom," I'm like, "Yeah, of course it's going to be a DevilNeverCry game." It's what other franchise do they make that has heavy metal and screaming vocals? So needless to say, here we are now. And then after DevilNeverCry, they almost immediately came back to us to do Resident Evil 2 to write a song for the end credits.
All right, yeah.
Which was amazing.
So, but then I bought DevilNeverCry. And
Yeah, it was amazing. That was brilliant.
But yeah, so that's kind of the short history of our Capcom Microverse history, where we've done a few consecutive projects with them.
Yeah. My background with games is pretty small. Other than a couple of little indie games, the first game I did was God of War 3.
All right.
Yeah, little
And
Yeah, just small games, not a lot of experience. Yeah, I just did some indie games. Oh, and yeah, God of War.
That's 10 years ago now. I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And since then, I co-wrote on Far Cry 4.
Is that a question? It's I think that's what it was called.
Yeah. And then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came up.
All right,
And we did that, and Cody and I and two or three other composers. They weren't remixes; they were whole new arrangements of. Capcom has music going back 40 years.
Yeah.
Going back to the.
It's. I mean,
days of,
people don't
video
actually
game consoles.
realize that. Yeah, it goes way back.
Absolutely. So they came to us with about 30 original Capcom, gems,
Yeah.
and asked us to make them kind of hip, make them more modern. And that turned out to be kind of our proving ground for what we could do for them, and then that jumped us into DevilNeverCry and the end titles of Resident Evil, which Cody wrote.
All right.
I just helped produce it with him. We did a couple other little things for them as well. So yeah, that's that. It's, they're an interesting company to work with. Incredibly passionate, insightful game designers and developers. It's incredibly impressive how deeply they think about every little nuance, every little gesture. Working with them on music, which kind of comes towards the end of the development cycle, was really fascinating. It started off with little tiny video clips that were like super crude renderings of little moments of the game, and you see two characters fighting, but the depth of the characters and the backstories of their characters and why they're fighting and why they fight the way they do and what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. They have an amazingly three-dimensional view of every aspect of the game, and they really know how well music can, enhance.
Yeah, because making music for a character. I don't know if anybody here worked in game industry apart from me. I used to do a bit of game making, let's call it that way. And yeah, music is important part, and it's not just making music for the character. It's you have to actually know the character. You have to know the backstory of it to make that music fit into character.
As a composer, I can
yeah,
yes.
that. And I'd say it's half of it is understanding the character, and the other half is kind of understanding the world.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, of course.
The great thing about video games in general is that they create these completely self-contained universes, or a universe that is not here. And is more fantasy than movies, even Marvel films and what have you. Video games are this very all-encompassing, full-on world that you explore, and creating part of what gives that world, that universe, its feeling, comes from the music. So it's kind of an exciting way to work.
All right, yeah. And
I learned a lot of it from Cody, to be honest with you. I don't have as nearly the game playing experience that Cody has. Cody's an actual
gamer.
He's one of you people. And that's
about Mario Kart on my phone, One of us.
No, and not only the passion of Capcom, which is why they are who they are in the world of video game companies, but the incredible passion of fans like you, literally all over the world, that we've met, and Cody and I and Casey have been to a number of Comic-Cons and other cons, and the fans are ridiculously cool, far more passionate than film and TV and just any other part of my world, and I think Cody's too.
Okay, how about Casey? How it was for you then?
It was super fun, super awesome. I started out playing the game back when the first one came out in the early 2000s. My mom rented it for me from Blockbuster.
Rented, not bought.
Yeah. And then, fast forward several years later, after playing them all, By the way, shout out to Cody for recognizing DMC. That Noisia soundtrack is pretty sick.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, no, they asked me if I wanted to work on the game as if I was going to say no. I was super excited to work on the game. And just to kind of follow up with what Jeff said, I think it is important to know the character just as much as it is the game. Because Devil May Cry is kind of like this half-serious goth family problem game, and then it's also the super tongue-in-cheek where you can get, Dante dancing in a cowboy hat. So that kind of brings me full circle back around to Devil Trigger, which is kind of the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever done in my entire life.
And you did an amazing job with it. So,
Thanks.
yeah.
But it's definitely a song that would not have existed outside of that game, especially with those lyrics. They're kind of ridiculous.
I mean,
they kind of fit the world. And another funny thing is I didn't. Well, I don't want to ruin. I think we're far enough out for spoilers, right? Is everybody?
Yes. We all played it like 100 times.
Just making sure.
I'm not sure about Danielle if she played it, but
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that question.
It's okay. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. I mean, you've been in the previous one, so yeah. That's
I didn't know when I started the song, or actually even when I finished it, that Nero was getting a double trigger for the first time. They didn't tell me that. They just gave me a bunch of adjectives. Like, they just wanted me to represent Nero as a character, talking about how he's young, brash, kind of stupid, but brave at the same time. Those are the things that I was given. Just little adjective descriptors. And had I been told the ultimate, goal of his story arc at the end of the game, there's no way I would have written that chorus. It would have been a totally different song. The whole Pull My Devil Trigger thing would have never existed. I only wrote that because all I could think of was me back when I was 13 or whatever, playing the game and loving that Devil Trigger mechanic when I first started playing the game. So yeah.
awesome. That's amazing.
And it was a really great. I mean, it was a great group, and we had so much fun. And we were in Japan, and you're running around in these ridiculous-looking suits with balls all over you.
That came a bit wrong.
You really cannot take yourself seriously, and you cannot have a big ego when you're in like this funky-looking suit with balls all over your head. So it's just a good time, and then you basically just got this playground, and you're jumping around. Well, I mean, obviously it is hard work.
Oh yeah.
It's super fun work. Yeah. So it was great. I mean, I had the best time, and not just doing the motion capture work, but then
you did voice as well.
We got to go into the booth and do the voices, which is amazing because I've worked on a couple of other games, and usually they hire those performers separately.
Oh yeah.
Unless if it's an actor, then obviously they're doing motion capture and the voice. But for stunt people and for doing all the action that we did in this game, normally they would hire separate people to do the voice. So it was amazing I thought that was really special. I think that comes through in the game too, that you have the same people.
Yeah, I mean, it's in theory you could say that. Oh yeah, it's just because it's cheaper. But then on the other hand, who else going to be better to voice the character than the person that actually was captured for the character?
Yeah, and I think they probably some school of thought is that doesn't really matter. I think it's those little subtleties that really make a difference in the end. It's like a subliminal thing that you don't even realize, but in the end it makes a difference. So it was awesome. Honestly, I've been in this business for almost 30 years, and this particular job was still stands out as one of my favorites, and mostly because of the fans. It's the best group of fans that I have experienced. It's been just amazing. Like I feel the love. Like I really feel it, and I feel so proud to be a part of it. Really
I mean, they probably love you as well. They're just too shy to But because we actually try to keep it under cloak, not telling everybody what's going to happen. We wanted it to be a surprise, and so they.
Didn't quite work out well as a
Yeah,
surprise.
well, it didn't work out exactly as we wanted, but yeah, nobody actually knew what's going to happen. We just sort of dropped a bomb on them. After the Comic-Con, we're just going to have a chat with, Danielle, composers, with Ruben. Ruben actually was the final surprise because we never actually said anything about Ruben until like last minute.
Well, congrats on getting Ruben, because he is a tough one to nail down. He's a really busy guy.
Oh yeah, honestly, I never actually. Yeah, go on.
Between making coffee in here, so I'm listening, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, don't worry. We know we can see you somewhere in the corner of the screen. But yeah, I mean, I never actually when I first, because the first time I decided to, actually give that surprise to people, because I thought, well, we are part of community. We when it comes to DMC in England, I think we are like only and the biggest group in the UK, and I thought, why not reach out to people who actually worked on everything, on DMC4, on DMC5, and give something to them, just as a sort of reward for doing that. Even though I had no idea how to even start, I literally just Googled everybody addresses and everything, and just started shooting emails at you.
Wow. Amazing. Well, actually, I was thinking that we should all have pizza and beer over at Cody's place. Danielle's here in LA. Ruben's a couple hours away. Casey.
Yeah. Casey's literally up the street. Yeah. My schedule just cleared up for beer and pizza.
Yeah, we still.
How long would it take you guys to get over here?
Yeah, if you.
£100,000.
I mean, it's still a bit more difficult for me because I'm originally from Poland, so we still need to get visas to get to US. But fortunately enough, they lifting that, so I can get there. Not a problem. Danielle, when you said that you're still friends with Dan and Johnny, you have to tell them what happened and what they missed.
I will. I actually did talk to Dan yesterday, or we were texting anyway. I haven't seen him in a while because, he's so busy that I haven't.
Yeah, I know, because he was literally doing voicing for the.
Yeah, he was really sorry that he couldn't make it, and he did send his love.
It's okay, honestly, it's okay.
And he's all over the place.
Yeah, because I mean, he was literally yesterday in the booth recording for the Power Rangers game. Not sure what's up with Johnny, but
he's guesting at a con in America this weekend.
So yeah, it's all explained then.
I actually got to briefly meet Johnny for a little bit right after writing Devil Trigger. This is before they asked me to do Silver Bullet and the duel and all that, but they were doing his voiceover, as Danielle was mentioning. They were doing the voiceovers for the mocap that they had done, and he came out and I got to meet him. Nero, and that's the character that I was representing. And I almost exploded. I was born in '87, so I grew up in the prime time of Power Rangers.
So you just a year older than me.
And all that stuff. So when he came out and I got to shake his hand, I basically didn't say anything but hi. I was dying all over. And I just wanted to tell him how much I loved everything he's ever done. That was a great moment.
So any of you, Jeff or Cody, did you manage to meet with the characters you've been doing music for?
No, this is the first time I've ever seen Ruben not as a still on Twitter. Because I've followed Ruben for a while.
Still on Skype.
But no, the only people we've met from the DevilNeverCry team are, there's like a group of people in Osaka that we've become friends with. Kota Suzuki, we've become friends with. Michiro Okabe, Takimoto, Koike-san, a couple of other people from the sound department. And then I met Matt Walker briefly, very briefly at Tokyo Game Show last month. But that's it. We don't, they don't want us intermingling.
Yeah, we don't intermingle.
Yeah, the team from Capcom Osaka came to our studio here in LA to be with us when we recorded vocals on the songs that we did. So we had them here to the studio. It was we had a good time actually. We went out a couple of times. We had a couple of beers. It was fun. Great group of people.
They didn't invite us to the bathhouse though. I was pissed. The bathhouse.
Oh God.
Everyone's like, ooh, I'm listening.
We all just passed up all the time.
Ready for that? Cody, you guys are so important part of this mix here, and we didn't even get to see you until now. So thanks, Christoph, for making this happen.
Welcome. Well, it's more massive thank you to you that all of you agreed to join us, because I mean, like I said before, I've never actually thought it's gonna work out, and like we've mentioned before, it was just road uphill from the start to very end now, where we honestly struggled massively, but we somehow did it. And it's
And I do appreciate what you do and what you've done and pulling it all together, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, so thank you. I'm really happy to be here. And on that note, I have to say, I have like 10 minutes and then I'll have to jump off, and I'm sorry because I got on late and then my pictures didn't come, and then
it's okay. I mean, like I've said to you before, it's it's your time, so whenever you have to go, just say it, and we are okay with it.
Thank you. I have a few more minutes and then I have a screening I need to go to.
Oh yeah,
You
said.
How many of you made your own costumes?
Mostly yes. Yeah. Just an idea, because Danielle's going away and we have all of you now. I was just thinking about showing you off what we did, how we dressed up and everything, and explain a bit.
Fashion show?
Yeah, pretty much just, cosplay fashion show. So, I mean, why not?
We don't really have much of a catwalk.
Yeah, we don't have a catwalk, but we can show you off. We can show you off what we did. How it.
Also, because we have limited time with Danielle, so maybe any last questions for Danielle before she has to jump off?
Yeah, let's do it, and I'll get into my. I'll get into my costume.
As Virgil walks into the room.